Hey guys, Jess and Fred back again. You're probably sick of our faces by now.
No.
Or maybe you're not.
No.
Of course, how could you be sick of us? We are back for another reaction thingy video.
Video.
My mind's gone blank. Right, basically, we have seen the family show for semi-final 1, which I guess kind of serves as an additional dress rehearsal in a way,
Yep.
kind of. And obviously there was an audience in the arena for this show as well. So we've seen semi-final 1 for a third time now, all the way from start to finish. Let's see who we have in the live chat. Right, Bailey, you have left work early, ready for semi-final 1.
Woo!
And yes, me and Jess have the same predictions.
Oh.
I saw Ry Bailey's predictions on his Instagram, and we have the same top 10 qualifiers. So we are hoping for 10 out of 10. We have Lee Fern. Good afternoon, guys. How was the family show? Matt didn't go live for this one. I don't know who Matt is. But yeah, the family show was really good, I think. We watched it both from the press center with Clara, but Andy did go into the arena for it. But again, you guys are just going to be blown away by the high standard, high quality that Sweden always does with Eurovision.
Yeah.
And whoever hosts next year has got big shoes to fill, I think.
Indeed.
Yeah. Lee Fern, you're saying you'll wait until the show for your predictions because you've not seen the full performances. Hello, Trees, you're very hungry. I am not hungry because I've eaten. Claudia saying Slovenia. Well, we did see obviously Slovenia perform, and I think my prediction is the same as yesterday. I think they're going to struggle to make the top 10 in the semi.
I agree.
Yeah.
Unfortunately they haven't made my top 10. It's still missing something for me. And I think we mentioned it on yesterday's live. One of the I can't remember who suggested it, but actually if it was a much more darker staging rather than so light, I think it would have played into the performance better. Whoever suggested that, you need to be on their team.
Yeah, I agree. I think because the song is dark itself, the staging, it sort of matches in a way, but not completely 100%. Some elements of it are really good.
Yep.
And I really like and comes across really well on stage. Others could be tweaked a little bit, I think.
Yep.
We have Luna Blanca. Hola to you. ¿Qué tal? Ry Bailey. Watch them call out Ireland last to qualify. I actually have a sneaking suspicion if Luxembourg is going to qualify, they're going to call them out last.
It's possible. Yeah.
I think that would be.
Or the thing is, or they could call them out first.
Yeah.
So.
Because even though they say it's a random order, I don't think it always is.
No, it's never is.
I think they always
they know exactly what they're doing.
Yes. But it potentially though Ireland could be, because they haven't qualified since 2018, so that could make a good last qualifier to make people think it's going to be the same again. We have next, good luck to all. Yep. So Fred, obviously we've seen the show a third time already. Even though it's essentially the same show, has your thoughts changed on any country or any performance?
Yes and no. I mean, as I was putting together my final top 10, I found it very difficult to choose my number 9 and 10 slots.
Okay.
Because there are about 5 different countries that could fit into them. And there's very little between them.
Yeah.
So I think it will be down to the performance on the night and whether you've got the right viewers voting for said countries. So I can whip out my phone quickly. Let's see.
So do you have a top 10 now then, or is it still like a top 8 or top 9?
No, I've got a top 10. I have shared it.
I haven't seen it.
Oh no, I shared it. I'll send it to Jess and she can share it on the channel for everyone to see. But
5 hours later.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so semi-final 1. Obviously, the tops haven't changed at all, but my bottom. Yes. I love a bottom. But I've got Luxembourg in 8th place. I've got Azerbaijan in 9th, and I've got Portugal squeaking in at number 10. That
So does
leaves
that mean you think Portugal are going to qualify?
yes. So
Oh, you've changed.
so that leaves out Australia, Serbia, and Slovenia, which were possibly going up and down in the dead certs for non-qualification were Iceland and Moldova. But again, these things can change on the night. So I looking again at Australia's performance today, it feels a bit chaotic on stage for me, and I'm just not sure who did the stage direction, but it again, if they stuck with one story and really sort of pushed it together, I think it would have worked better. And Serbia, unfortunately, because it performs second after such a run of upbeat songs, I feel it not only brings the mood down, but it's also not compelling enough to say, oh my God, this ballad is amazing. Because coming from, Elena Ferreira, Chanel, and Eric Sade on top of Cyprus, it sort of,
it
the
gets
whole
buried.
It's like you get
I know
lost
what you
in
mean.
it. If any other ballad could potentially do well in the slot, because obviously they've come after a run, so therefore you're going to pay attention to them more. But I think the main issue is it's not interesting enough to pull focus and make you engage with the performance. She's lovely. She sings nicely. She's performing on her rock. She's got her smoke, and it is all about the sort of phoenix flower, the Ramunda. But unfortunately, I just don't think it comes across and will not be remembered come to the end of the night.
I remember, I think in one of our videos yesterday, I said I was leaning towards a non-qualification for Serbia, then I was on the fence for Serbia. I think it's more likely non-qualification, sadly, just purely, I think, because of the running order and because of the songs and performances around it. If it maybe had a later running order in between different songs, possibly it could just sneak in the top 10. But as it stands, I am not confident.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you've got the two other ballads towards the end.
Yes.
So you've got Azerbaijan and Portugal. You're going to remember them.
Yeah,
more.
I think so.
So
yeah. Well, so that's that. Let's go back to the chat. Kathal Shaheen, you think Ireland being announced last is boring? It's too obvious. Luxembourg is a certainty, but you can see a small chance of a non-qualify, very small. I don't have any doubt Luxembourg isn't qualifying.
No, my only bit about Luxembourg is all of the neighboring countries that would vote for Luxembourg aren't in the semi-final. So so you've got Belgium, you've got the Netherlands, you've got France. Who am I missing?
I think it would be those would be the obvious ones.
Those are the obvious. So those are sort of the dead cert countries that you would expect to give votes to Luxembourg. So it's because they're not there. It's sort of like it's up in the air because you're.
But then again, in this semi-final, you have Portugal, and Luxembourg has a big Portuguese. What's the word? Like community or like of Portuguese origins.
Yeah.
I don't know whether Germany would go for Luxembourg.
I mean, it is on the border again, but again, I think it has much more similarities with the French and Belgian side.
Yeah, because Benelux, of course.
But I mean, we hope so because we want them to come back.
Of course.
We'd hate for them to not qualify on such a long-waited return. So.
Yeah. So fingers crossed. Dennis, you're asking about Portugal. I've always had this as a qualifier. I've always thought it could just qualify, but I think Fred's now been converted.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is definitely on. If you want to call it the fence, you can call it the fence.
Welcome to the fence.
Well, yes, indeed.
It's very comfy up here.
I didn't honestly think this would qualify, but because of the running order and where it falls, and her just because of the vocal, I've snuck it into number 10. It could have been so much better, 100%.
Okay.
But I think they will just squeak in. It has that quality aspect that I think is missing from some of the others. But I think the staging could have been better, which would have propelled them higher.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I really like the staging personally. I think it looks very pretty and very beautiful. But obviously you need to have more than just a pretty staging.
Yeah, I mean, with such a colorful contest, and I mean color,
Yeah.
coming in white with no other sort of contrast, and I don't.
I see
Without
what you mean.
contrast, I mean not black as contrast, but
Yeah.
something
Something
to
else,
grab
yeah.
onto. Again, it has the air of coming across as slightly boring or forgettable, and that was my only worry.
I can see where you're coming from. Speaking, Rabelli saying you're pretty confident on your part, except for Australia. I'll be doing prediction videos. Stay tuned.
Yes. Unfortunately, I won't be a part of it because I'm going to go and stand in the arena. I have to see it live, of course. But I'll help give some live reactions after.
Yep. So Amethyst is asking, how do Marlon and Petra work together as hosts? Good or anything in mind of that topic?
That's a good question, actually. The obviously Petra is a seasoned professional.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about her. But Marlon has come across as quite nervous in a couple of the first rehearsals that we've seen. She seems much more relaxed today with the rehearsals. Today's family show. I still, again, she's an actress, so she's used to having as many takes as she needs to get something right. And she's not a trained comedian, so delivering some of these jokes don't necessarily,
flow like it does with Petra.
Exactly. Petra
is a natural.
She could do it in her sleep, sort of thing. But she does have some funny one-liners in there, and hopefully come across well on the night. But I think the two of them together actually works quite well.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, yesterday I think Marlon was very nervous. You could tell, and she was kind of making a couple of mistakes, which is natural to make. But today she seems a lot more comfortable on stage, and I think for tonight's live show, she's going to be perfect. We also saw a change of outfit as well, so I do wonder if it's going to stay the same for the live. Lee Fern, you're asking, how were the UK, Germany, and Sweden in the family show? Amazing.
Again, UK just nailed it. He started off with a slight sharp vocal. When I noticed when he started the song, it just Ollie.
Oh,
it went a little bit sharp.
Yeah.
But actually, it played into the messaging and what he's doing. But again, I think he's really gonna. People are gonna be really surprised when they see this performance.
Oh yes.
Germany. It is what it is. I bless him. He's got a good voice.
Yeah.
He does what he can with it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be positive here. But Sweden, I think they've added a little bit of technicality to it. I noticed today where the screen sort of jitters like it's a part of a computer, like a virus aspect. But again, the boys, they really do deliver. And I think, again, people assume that Sweden are just going to, sail in type aspect. But I think this is a contender for the top 10 easily.
Yeah, I would pretty much agree with everything you've said. All three of the qualifiers, the automatic qualifiers today did really well, I think. And all of their stagings do come across very well on the stage. All of their vocals from all of the boys tonight are incredible. So you're in for a real treat tonight, guys.
Absolutely.
Next is asking, do you think Cyprus will qualify? You expected a better dance break.
Okay. I think it's, again, coming in from such a high energy opening, I think she really delivers. And the clever use of lighting makes it look much more impactful than it actually is. So I buy into it. I'm singing the song by the end of it. I'm really grooving along. Again, I was very nervous about Cyprus to begin with because some of the rehearsal footage that we had seen, her vocals had been a little bit shaky because she's been focusing on the dance. But actually, she's pulled it off. She's pulled it off. I mean, and so more power to her. I mean, she's 17 and she's been able to do it.
Yeah, for me, Cyprus is an obvious qualifier and such a great opener to the show as well. So I don't have any doubts that they will not qualify. Joanne Johnson, you're asking, how did Latvia do? So Latvia are performing in semi-final 2. So we will see them for the first time tomorrow. So hopefully Dons will do very well.
Mhm.
Lefa, and you're saying, remember Serbia has a few neighbours who will vote for them.
That's
Especially, I mean, in this semi, they've got Croatia and the rest of the world that could potentially vote for them.
yeah. It's it. They also have a bit of a diaspora. Diaspora. Sorry, it's not a word that comes into my daily conversation, but there are Serbians throughout Europe, so that could potentially help them. And I 100% take that point, but
Yeah.
I think because of the running order and where it's delivered with the other ballads at the end, I still think it will struggle.
Yeah, me too. Pavlov, you are obviously a Ukrainian fan. Maybe you are Ukrainian. Let us know. We both think Ukraine are great, and I think it's a potential semi-final winner.
It's just quality.
Yeah.
The girls, they do a really good job, and it's visually stunning. And again, it's very simple.
Yes.
But it's Lion King-esque, and I'll leave you with that, and you can work it out on your own.
I never thought of that before. Yeah. David W. asking how was Ireland? Incredible. I mean, I think it got the biggest reaction in the press centre today, which it also got yesterday.
Yep.
Just phenomenal what they've done with the staging.
Yeah, it's. I mentioned this yesterday. It's like a 3-minute film.
Yes.
I think one of the guys mentioned yesterday it was like a Tim Burton musical, and I think that sums it up perfectly, actually, because I kept comparing it to an episode of Buffy, but it's it has that haunting, almost like a thriller vibe, I guess, from a Michael Jackson point of view.
Ooh,
but
I never thought of that.
Yeah, because obviously
I've never seen thrillers.
Just leave right now, honestly. But it's that spooky element that sort of pulls you in, and you want, even if it frightens you slightly, you want to see what's going to happen.
Yes.
And it's and as I've said before, the song can be polarizing or alienating to some communities, but you will be stuck watching this regardless. So whether you love it or you hate it, you will be watching this from the beginning to the very end.
And I think it helps because you've obviously got the kind of really dark, I say screaming element of the song. Then you've got the light and airy elements. For people that maybe haven't heard the song before, I think then they'll hear the kind of darker bit, they'll hear the lighter bit, then they might be thinking, is there a third bit, or is that going to continue? Is it going to go back to this? So that might keep people watching it thinking, well, what's coming next? Or is it going to go to this bit next or that bit next? So
yeah, I mean, Ireland on my playlist, without seeing any performances or anything, I probably would have said the song was in the bottom of the semi for me. It's not my style of music.
Nor mine.
But what they've done with the staging and the presentation of this song is just phenomenal. I know we're going on and on and on about Ollie's staging, but I think Ireland has stolen the show with
to some extent, yes. And who would have thought it coming from Ireland?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably, I think I'm going to say the best staging in Eurovision ever, hands down. So that was Ireland. But guys, keep the questions coming in. Keep your thoughts, opinions coming in the chat. We're going to be here for a little while longer. Hopefully Andy and Clara are going to make an appearance at some point soon. And of course, if you are new to Eurobox, welcome.
Yes.
Welcome to Eurobox. We hope you like what you see so far. And of course, if you are new, don't forget to subscribe. We are on, obviously, YouTube. We have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And we have a website, Eurobox.tv, with all the latest Eurovision, Junior Eurovision and National Final news. So be sure to give us a like and a follow wherever you are. Tell your friends, your family, your neighbours, your doctor, your manager, everyone. Spread the word.
Indeed.
And now let's go back to the chat. Right, Bailey, you're saying they said they won't be back if they don't qualify. Is that Serbia, maybe? Let us know who you're talking about there.
No, I think she might mean Luxembourg.
Luxembourg. Let us know who you mean.
I don't know, but
Cathal, you're saying I don't have much doubt on Luxembourg, but I can see doubt setting in if we get to the last few envelopes and it hasn't been announced, especially if other potential qualifiers is left to be announced.
Yeah. I mean, again, as we said before, I think either if Luxembourg do qualify, it will either be the first country announced or the last country announced.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's such a long period of time since they've been in the contest. So I think they will do well enough. She's added some volume to her braids, which I don't know if that's going to help her on the evening. But
I don't think people really care about hair braids. But then again, I noticed it straight away. So maybe
exactly.
They will.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that bigger is better. In this case, anything to make you remember the performance.
Yeah.
But I think because again they perform last, and that last 30 seconds is just
it's like wow, so intense. David W, you are asking, do you think Australia could steal someone's spot like Serbia or Slovenia? Well, in my opinion, I have Australia as a qualifier and Serbia and Slovenia is not. So
I 100% agree with you. Australia could sneak in. They will obviously steal one of the spots. Unfortunately, as a whole, and I think we again explained this yesterday. There's lots of pieces to Australia, and they just don't fit together quite right. So it doesn't make a full puzzle. I think if they chose a direction and stuck with it, and had a storyline that they were going to have, I mean, I think bringing out the didgeridoo guy at the end is a bit too late. I think I know they're trying to bring something into it, and the three random dancers that don't even look like they belong there. It's just again, there's lots of little pieces that just don't seem to fit here. And I quite like the song. I mean, well, again, first listen, I wasn't a massive fan, but it's grown on me.
Yeah.
So again, for those who've only heard the song for the first time tonight, that could be possibly the decision maker. But I don't know. I mean, I love Australia, and I'd love for them to participate. But I think there's some others that could potentially nick that spot.
I mean, I think the Australian song is obviously very upbeat, very up tempo. And the staging is very colourful. The colours and the lighting they have works really well. And I think for that reason, I can see it qualifying just because of how fun it kind of comes across the song. Even though the staging doesn't 100% work in, parts of it don't quite work, I think the whole package is just enough to qualify. I like the addition of the didgeridoo player, but when he starts actually playing it, like I don't know how to put the sound, the tune coming out of it clashes with the song, like the backing track, I think. And it just, to me, just sounds a bit odd.
Okay. Well, I hate to break this to you, but you do realize he's not playing live.
Yeah, but
it's on the track.
But like the sound, I mean, like the didgeridoo sound coming out.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of clashes again, for me, and it's a bit odd.
No, I mean, again, it doesn't necessarily jar the song in any way. I just wish if they were going to do it, they would have done it at the beginning, and it would have been a whole sort of almost Aboriginal performance.
Yeah,
so again,
it
would have told a story, because that's what the word means, and where it comes from. So, play into that.
Yeah.
Don't just sort of, I just wish that these countries would take an idea and stick with it, rather than trying to have something that pleases everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's where these countries go wrong, because they're trying to tick lots of boxes.
I see what you mean. Yeah, but we shall see tonight. Only a couple of hours to go, and where we will see. And speaking of Australia, Ellen Howright, you're on your way to the jury show. Let's hope Australia qualified. You're so proud of Electric Fields, regardless of the results. 24 hours of travel to get here.
Oh my goodness.
That is dedication.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have Millie in the house. Hello. This is Millie from Eurobox. All of these amazing TikToks you see, thanks to Millie.
She's the queen.
Yep. And also Ibrahim and Andy and Clara help out with the TikToks as well. So do give our TikTok a watch, I was going to say, or follow, whatever you do on TikTok. You like it, you follow it. Ellen, you're also saying not watching the show at 5 a.m. will be an experience. Yep, I actually did see something on Twitter where I think it was Aussie Vision that had done a map of all of the times you could watch it live in Australia, and it was like ranging from like 3 a.m. to 5 or something, and I'm like,
crazy.
That's dedication.
That is 100% dedication.
Jay Ray, you are asking, was Ollie's vocals better than yesterday?
I didn't notice a problem with his vocals yesterday. I mean, there was, I think, just before the final note, possibly yesterday, there was a little bit of shakiness. But again, that was because he runs up to the center of the stage, basically. But the only thing I noticed today was that the slight sharp note at the very beginning, which didn't take away from the performance at all. And like I said, it plays into it, what he was sort of doing. But I don't have any problems with Ollie's vocal. The staging and the presentation of it is spot on. The vocal delivery, because of the type of song it is, I don't think it's as important. I don't want to come across as vocals aren't important at all, but for this particular song, I don't think it's key to their success, if that makes sense.
I mean, I think all his vocals have been good in all the performances we've seen of him, and there have been a few odd moments today and yesterday where there was a few odd moments that weren't that were a bit not the best. But then you have to understand he has a very demanding choreography, and he's literally being like thrown around that stage. So if his voice does falter slightly, I think you can kind of let him off just because of the amount of running around
what he's doing
on stage he's doing. So,
I mean, I think people are playing into the whole vocal delivery possibly because of what happened last year with May. Again, great song, but just there were bits of the song that unfortunately suffered in the vocals, which suffered in the performance. But last year's, because of the type of song it was all about being strong and confident that she had overcome this deceit, that you needed a great vocal for that, where this doesn't need the same sort of, because actually a gritty vocal actually works better with the song. So
there we go. Aiden, you're asking, does the UK vote in semi-final 1 or 2? We are voting tonight in semi-final 1. Voting will not open at the beginning of the show. That only happens in the final.
Correct.
But you can also vote on the Eurovision app as well. Bubble Pirate, you're asking our top 10 qualifiers. I think you already mentioned yours.
I mentioned mine. So
but I can come and mention mine. I have to get it up again. So this is in in the order they perform. I have Cyprus, Lithuania, Ireland, Ukraine, Poland, Croatia, Finland, Australia, Portugal, Luxembourg. Those are the countries in a random order I think will qualify. DJ Parody Official, Sarah, you're asking who was the greatest? All of them, really, I would say.
I mean, I think who will win the semi, it will either be Croatia or Ireland. Croatia delivers a performance that, again, you will be singing the song before it's over. Ireland is so compelling that you cannot stop watching it. So it's a difficult one to call, but I think because of the polarization of Ireland, I think Croatia will take it.
Yeah, I would agree with you, actually. Lee Fern, you're asking how long will tonight's show be? So I think it's expected to be, as you said. So here we've been seeing advertised as 2 hours, 15 minutes. So I think that's what we can expect, give or take, as long as there's no problems with anything going on. Neil Erie, you're saying the stage director behind Ireland is only 22 years old. Wow. For such a young person to create this masterpiece.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, incredible. Mia or Mer, I don't know how you pronounce that. You're saying you think you think they want the big scream and joy from the audience. So you think Ireland will be called out last? Potentially, yeah. It would be a good kind of finish to the semi-final.
Yep.
Onik Abestian, hi from Armenia. Hello to you. Are you looking forward to tonight's show? We, of course, have Armenia performing in semi-final 2 on Thursday. Rodika Sava, you are asking how was Moldova? Underwhelming for me.
Yeah, I mean, bless her, she does try and she can sing, she can sell it, but it's a bit lost amongst the other songs, and it's only her on stage, and then she whips out the violin and the angel wings come up. I think she will lose focus before she whips out the violin, if that makes sense. It's not compelling enough to pull people in, and I certainly don't think you'll remember her. Again, she's in white. There's an odd trend this year of either being in double denim or white.
Or in like 10 times denim, like Finland.
Yes, indeed. But I think I had this as my bottom finisher for the semi.
Yeah, sadly, just like Serbia, I think Moldova gets lost amongst some of the more up-tempo songs this year. Whilst I think it's a good song, a beautiful song, and Natalia does perform the song very well vocally, the song and the staging is not standing out enough, and it's getting lost, sadly. Simple things you're asking, how was Ollie this afternoon? We did touch on this before, but just quickly, we both thought Ollie did great today. We think he did amazingly, and so fingers crossed.
Yes,
he delivers the goods. Bubble Pirate, you'd like to see America join Eurovision one year?
It's not out of the question. There has been talks of Kazakhstan, China, and the US. So it's obviously the US tried their own version of the contest. It only lasted one season, but it's a possibility. It's the viewership. It has grown and grown in the US, and it will be broadcast again this year.
Yes.
This time without commentary. So we'll see. I'm American originally, so I'd be happy to see them in the contest.
Fred for the US. Ooh, let's go.
Funny enough, this year I've lived in the UK longer than I've lived in the US. So
okay.
I'm not sure what that makes me anymore, but
maybe you're more British now then.
I'm international. That's what I am. But no, I happily see them there, and I'm all for one about welcoming everybody who wants to join. I have no problem with Australia participating. I think the more the merrier.
Yeah,
so
why not? Going back to Australia, simple things you think Australia's colour so beautiful. Me too. And the song has really grown on you. Chris A, isn't Australia the only song in a major key?
I'm not sure.
I hadn't thought about that before. I'm just trying to think back to the songs. I guess Luxembourg sounds pretty major to me.
Yeah.
Croatia. Well, I'm going to have to think about that one. I mean, even though a lot of other songs in the semi sound happy, they could still be in a minor key.
Yeah.
Good question. RJ, hello to you. You are looking forward to Ireland, Ukraine, Croatia, and Australia. Rodrigo, has the third dress rehearsal finished? Yes, it has. We are now just over 3 hours away from the live semi-final. So it's getting exciting now.
Indeed.
Somente Wavy, you hope Portugal will qualify. It's pure art, a masterpiece. Art is a good word to use. Chris A, you're saying there's a lot of ex-Yugoslavs in Sweden, so Sweden will give Serbia a good chunk of points. Well, Sweden are voting in tonight's semi-final, of course, so who knows? I'm going to try to pronounce your name, but Diomiec. Apologies if I butchered your name. You're asking, did Poland improve since yesterday?
Funny enough, we had this conversation, and we felt she did perform better today than she did yesterday. It seemed a bit more fluid. And I mean, again, there's nothing necessarily wrong with the song, but because it's a literal translation. It's not. I guess it's not leaving anything up to the viewer to decide what's happening. It is a feast for the eyes. There's lots going on. The question is it too much? That's the thing. I think again, we think Poland will fall apart because of the diaspora.
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 You sound like you're trying to say disaster.
Yeah, well, who knows?
But yeah, I agree with you. I think the diaspora is definitely going to help Poland qualify. I am reminded of the phrase less is more when I think of Poland staging. Whilst it is eye-catching because there's a lot going on, at the same time it seems a bit over the top, and I feel like they could have toned down the staging and had a bit less going on, but it still would have sounded and looked great on stage. But it's an easily accessible pop song, radio-friendly. Televoters are going to like it. They have a diaspora, so I think they're going to make the top 10 tonight, for sure. Simple things you're asking. Do you think there will be any big shocks? You hope there is, because some drama.
Oh yeah, they hope that there is, because obviously it causes more drama.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a Eurovision without drama.
Exactly.
So there's definitely going to be some sort of upset tonight. What that's going to be, we're not 100% sure. I think there's lots of dead certs in there.
Yes.
I guess if one of the dead certs doesn't get in, or if one of the obvious non-qualifiers gets through, then that could potentially, shake the boat or rock the boat from that point of view. But it wouldn't be a Eurovision without drama.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully it's kind of good drama and not, any bad drama. But we're probably going to get surprises. We always do get surprises in Eurovision. So there we go. Peter, you are getting prepared to go to the city centre in Bratislava.
Oh, wow.
Because the Slovak fan page organises the first live watching party. Well, we hope you have lots of fun. And of course, you can vote in the rest of the world vote. So who are you going to vote for? Let us know in the comments. Mr. Eurovision 1986, what a username. What do you think of Ireland being in contention for winning semi-final one?
Yep, I think we both think they're going to be of the top two between Croatia and Ireland.
I think so. I think either Ukraine, Croatia, or Ireland is winning this semi-final tonight. Kali Tali, you are asking how was Azerbaijan's performance? You live in the States and you missed watching it.
Okay. Their vocals amazing. It's their first song that actually includes Azerbaijani lyrics.
Yep.
So it's actually really quite important to them. The slight disconnect is the story that they're trying to tell doesn't necessarily come across in what they're actually doing on stage. It actually is quite beautiful. I mean, they have this large, sparkly woman, which I believe is meant to represent this fifth element.
Okay.
Because the whole performance is around elements, so earth, fire, air, water, and the fifth element being love.
So does she represent love then, essentially?
I think that's what she's trying to represent. You see her move throughout, and obviously towards the end you actually see her hands on stage. But again, it's not 100% clear, and the story's not, easy for the viewer to understand. Yeah. But I think the quality's there, and I think they will squeak in.
Yeah, I mean, I think Azerbaijan probably has one of the more beautiful stagings, stunningly beautiful stages of this semi-final. The staging, is beautiful. The vocals are amazing. But again, I think the song's going to get lost, sadly. I don't think they have quite enough to be remembered enough to qualify. But it would be lovely to be proven wrong, of course. Benedict 21, you're saying Poland is in a major key. Okay. Bubble Pirate is asking your favorite Luxembourg entry of all time. Yours is 1965. Do you know many Luxembourg entries?
I don't, I'm afraid.
Besides Tali?
Unfortunately, I wasn't. I was only introduced to the contest in 2000. Mm-hmm. I have watched previous contests, so this is the first Luxembourg entry that I'm actually hearing. Mm-hmm. I think I've heard some of the winners in the past, but I wouldn't be able to tell you their names off the top of my head. I'm really sorry.
I don't know too many Luxembourgish entries, but I love Pupa de C, Pupa de Son by Franz Gall. So I'm going to say that, and also Fighter by Tali, which I love as well. So those two I love. But what's your favorite besides 1965, of course, which I think was Franz Gall? Lee Fern, you're saying Croatia now up to 35% chance of winning, a full 20% under Switzerland.
Wow.
So 35% is good, right?
Yes, yeah. The higher the percentage, the more likelihood.
Cool. Georgia K, you are saying can't wait for tonight. Vote for Cyprus. Let's support Eurovision sweetheart Celia. We think she has a good chance to qualify. Simple things you're saying, the fact that Poland's stage director gave the UK 2 huge trumpets and Poland gets 2 huge chess pieces. Okay. They seem to like 2 big props.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, whatever, to each their own.
Exactly. Peter, you're saying you're going to vote now for Croatia, Lithuania and Luxembourg, but maybe it will spread into more countries. Good choices.
Vote for Luxembourg.
Clara says vote for Luxembourg.
They've been working really hard.
Yeah.
They have.
Kali Tally, you're asking, does anyone know how you can watch the semi-finals from the US? So I know they're streaming Eurovision on Peacock in the US, but is that just the final or the semi-finals?
I'm not 100% sure. We'll get the guys to have a look for you, and we can try and post something about it.
Yeah.
I know they're definitely showing the final, but did they geo-lock it on YouTube then?
I don't know. So I know potentially check out YouTube, check out Peacock, check out their schedule.
Yeah.
You could also try the official live stream on Eurovision's YouTube account.
Yep.
But if anybody in the comments knows if you can watch it in the US, let us know so we can help Kali Tally out. Simon, you like Luxembourg 1992. Soufflé is one of your all-time favorites. I've never heard that one before. Maria, you're saying you appreciate Luna's love for music and art. You can see that she loves what she does.
100%.
100%. But you're saying, are you the only one who thinks Australia will achieve a similar success to Gustav last year? I personally don't see that.
No.
I can see them qualifying and getting a mid-table result in the final.
Yeah, I think they're in danger of not qualifying, but we shall see.
Yeah. Yola 60, Franja, you think Poland very strong staging. Lee Fern, you like Luxembourg 93, modern times. Of course, their last entry before they withdrew.
I know that one came 20th.
Okay. Gina JJ Anonymous, you love Gina G. We love Gina G too.
Of course.
So I think we're going to get ready to wrap the video up soon because my voice is going to give out soon.
And I have to go and get in queue.
So before we wrap this video up, who are we thinking is going to win the semi-final? We can only pick one country.
I'm going to stick with my original. Oh, there's an answer for Peacock.
Oh, so Mia is saying you think the live streams are geo-blocked, so a VPN could help. Victoire, you are saying Peacock is streaming all semis and final live at 3 p.m. EST. So we hope that helps you.
Yes. But I'm sticking with the fact that Croatia will win the semi-final.
I'm going to say Ukraine is winning the semi-final.
Okay.
So as Lee Fern says, enjoy the show tonight all.
Yes!
We hope all of you guys enjoy the show. Don't forget to join us again after the show for another live video where we will obviously talk about the show and our first 10 qualifiers of Eurovision this year, which is so exciting, but also nerve-wracking. Have the most wonderful time tonight. We hope you'll have fun wherever you are. And again, if you're new to us, subscribe to us, follow us on all social media. But until then, guys, bye-bye.
Yeah, happy Eurovision.
Yes, it's finally here.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
See you later, guys. Bye.